Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Claudia and this is Katie Counseling. Welcome back. Today I will be breaking down the cost of my internship experience. Before I get started, if you follow me at Katie Counseling, you already know. If you have any questions, you can DM me there. A lot of you guys actually do DM me and I help you guys out. You guys have some basic questions and then you guys have some other questions about this whole experience I just went through. I'm more than happy to help, so leave a comment down below and start a conversation, because if you leave a comment here, everybody else gets to see the answers, which is great. If you have like a more personal question about certain schools and stuff like that, just DM me. I'm more than happy to help. If you like to donate to my channel, support me in any kind of way, press the thanks button down below. It really makes my day. That kind of rhymed. Alright guys, my first video after graduating is going to be the cost of my internship experience, because I've had a few days now to really think about it, and it kind of hit me last night. I'm like right now I would have been at my internship. It's Monday morning, and I was thinking, I'm like, oh wow, I don't have to go put more gas in the car, and I don't have to wake up like really early in the morning, and I don't have to pack food and all this and that. So I was like, wow, it really, it does affect your life in a big way. And especially if it's something you've been doing for a full year. So I started the experience last August. It was like September 1st, but the last week of August I was doing all my paperwork. I had to go take a drug test. I had to do like a tuberculosis screening and all this other stuff. So yeah, I consider that work, because I was driving to, my internship was in Fort Myers, Florida. So I was driving to Fort Myers, Florida, driving back, doing all sorts of things. So yeah, from August to August, it was a year. So the first thing that I realized, honestly, that, is one of the costs of doing this is, I don't know which one I want to start with, because they're all really important. Some of them are monetary, some of them are not. The first thing that I have to mention is some sort of computer, or for what I got was an iPad. I'm very happy I got the iPad. I got the iPad Pro, so it's like a computer. One of the other interns that was at my site had a regular Dell laptop, so it is what it is. And I know certain schools will supply you with a laptop when you're in their program, but my school did not, and my internship did not supply me with my own device to do the clinical notes, to take home to do work and stuff like that. So I did have to purchase that on my own, and I'm glad I got the iPad Pro, because I really used it. When I was doing intakes with clients, they would sign on, I had like an Apple Pen, and they would use the Apple Pen, or they would use their finger and sign, because the site didn't provide me, like, the therapists that work there full time, they have like a PC with like at the doctors where you go sometimes and you have like the little signing pad, they had that. So unless I somehow would manage to use their computers, I had to provide that myself. So that was very important for me, and it worked out for me, because I could take my iPad anywhere. I could do my notes at the coffee shop, in my car, at home, on my couch. So for the amount of time that I was on that computer for that year, it really paid off. And I was able to actually put the computer into my taxes. However they do that, my tax accountant does that. It's part of like something that I needed to do my schoolwork / work at my internship. So I think at the end of the day, it's with like, I don't know if it's like a tax deduction or something like that. It works out, but I did have to pay for it up front. So that's definitely the number one, like, monetary cost, I would say, or equal to the second one that I'm going to talk about, which for my experience, I chose to have a site that's 30 minutes away, so the gas and the miles on my car, and it's something that you, again, I'm not an accountant, but I know if you have your own business, you can write certain things off, because I'm using my car to go see clients, or not in my situation, but if you're a therapist, I know people that drive to people's houses, and you can use that as a like a, I don't know, write-off tax deduction or something like that. But I wasn't able to do that. I was an intern. I didn't get paid. I don't have a business. This was for school. So I was driving 60 miles a day, 30 there, 30 back, 3 times a week, minimum 3 times a week. Because there were some weeks that I did some extra hours. So, and if you would multiply that times how much gas is, right? I was putting in gas at least twice a week, about $50. So I was spending, honestly, around, with every, moving around the city, going to work as well. But my work is like a few miles away from my house. School and everything that I do, my mom duties is really close to our house too. So that would have been maybe $40 a week if I just stayed around here. But making those drives, it was about $60 or more. No, yeah, $60 more. So it was like $100 a week. So that's $400 a month that I personally had to pay to do my internship. Because in my area, and I know a lot of you guys come across this, you probably or will not easily find a site that works with student counselors. I'll need to make a video on that, because I know people that, they interview multiple times, and either the site wants to take them, but they can't give them what the school's asking for, or the school's asking for too much or something like that. So for my schedule, for every piece of the puzzle to work out, it made sense for me to drive that far, that many times a week. So I would get the hours, I would get the experience I want, and I would get supervised the way that I want to get supervised. So yeah, definitely, if you would do like around $400, because that's what it was, times 12, that's what it cost me for gas in a year. So that was like an investment in myself, on top of paying for school. So it was a lot of money. And like I said yesterday, I was like, oh wow, I'm not gonna have to drive to Fort Myers like that anymore. I'm like looking at my gas, I'm like, wow, I actually have some gas in my car, because I was always constantly running out of gas. And I know different cars, different gas, this and that. I don't have like a big engine, so it is what it is. So gas, definitely. If you're in a city where you're not driving, maybe the cost of a bus ticket or a subway ticket, or Ubering, or however you get around, it's going to add up, because it's going to be an extra thing. Unless you don't have to work and that's your only thing that you have to do, it might not be a big deal. But it was a big deal for me to have it kind of my way, and I expressed that openly, like, yes, I didn't have to drive, I could have maybe found something closer, but that's what it was for me. So the third thing that I want to mention, and I know some people might not function the way I do, but I give gifts. I give thank you cards. I buy gift cards sometimes for people that have helped me. So during the holidays, and right now at the end of my experience, I did purchase multiple people gifts. And again, this might not be for everybody. It is for me. I'm a big acts of giving gifts person. And so yeah, that is something to consider if you're like me, if you like to give gifts. That was a cost, and I did it because I appreciated the people. They really took care of me this past year. They really poured into me knowledge that they didn't have to. They really paid attention and took their time. So that's the least that I could do on my end to show them that I appreciate everything that they've done for me. But it is a cost of, being an intern. It's not a negative cost in my book in any way, because I love it. I love giving gifts. But that's something to consider if you are the type of person that I am. I wish I could give people more. I give them what I can. But that was one of the things. I gave a thank you gift and a card, and, just to wrap everything up. So that was another cost. Financial cost. It doesn't have to be financial. I guess you can give a gift, or you can create something for somebody, but that's something to think about if you like giving gifts. the other thing, the next thing, is professional wardrobe. I personally, I would like to, like, the site I was at, you could wear jeans. I never did though. I wore like work pants, I don't know, you know, like black pants, gray pants, something like that, like work pants to my internship. I always wore like closed-toed shoes. I always had like a nice cardigan or like a sweater or a long sleeve nice dress shirt on. And I bought things before the internship started, the summer before, for my internship, like the pants and the shoes and certain like blouses and long sleeve shirts, because I like dressing, and you have to for that profession. I had to dress modestly, you know. Even the rules of the program for the people that attended, you know, you couldn't show off anything. You had to be covered up. You had to wear things that covered pretty much everything for men and women. So I always try to dress nice, comfortable, breathable fabrics, but I did do like a big shopping trip. I mean, big, you know, those things are expensive. Dress pants are like around $100, $30 to $100, depends where you go. Dress shirts can range from that too, from $20 to $200. It just depends. I got a couple of nice jackets. So those things really add up. The boots and the closed-toed shoes, those added up as well. So I live in Florida, and my work outfit for the past 12 years where I've worked is all black with tennis shoes. So these were things that, like, you know, long sleeve and long pants. It's Florida. Like, I'm not going to wear this out normally. So yes, it was just for school. So that was pretty interesting. And then I remember in the middle of my internship, I bought some new things as well, a couple of other shirts, because, you know, I'm there 3 times a week. I didn't want to wear the same thing all the time, which I kind of did though, to be honest with you. I like went through like 2 different blouses, 2 different long shirts, and just like cover-ups and things like that. But I remember buying a couple more things throughout the year that I felt like I needed, because I'm sitting in a chair for hours. It gets cold in there. It was like really freezing. And then in the afternoon it would get hot, so I needed clothes where I felt comfortable in, and I could sit there. And, you know, even though you're not like moving around a lot, when you're sitting for a long time, like, you gotta have comfortable clothes on. So that's definitely something to look into, depending on what your site requires. I felt very comfortable with the clothes that I wore, but I did have to buy them just for this experience. All right, so the last cost I would say is dining out or bringing your own food, packing lunch, right? For everybody that's very efficient at, you know, meal prepping and bringing your own food and things like that, congrats. I'm okay at it. Like, I would bring a yogurt or like protein bars and things like that for myself, but I sometimes would, you know, I'll be there for my internship. I didn't really get a good meal, and then I would leave my internship and have to be at work within a certain amount of time, where I didn't even get to go home some days. I had to like change in my car and, you know, do what I had to do in that between time, and, you know, grab a sub or grab something to eat, you know, out. And again, this is not for everybody. Not everybody's gonna have this time crunch. Not everybody's going to, you know, drive really far and spend a lot of time in the car, so you can't go home and cook yourself a meal or make yourself a meal. That was all on me, and I know that. I'm aware of that. But I did eat out quite a bit during this experience, just because of the time. And when I go into work at nighttime, like, I can't eat. I'm on my feet. I'm running around. I work at a restaurant, so I was not able to really eat. So that's what worked for me. And even at my site, like, once I get there, we're doing groups, and then I'm doing individual, and then I leave and I sit in my car. So it's not like I could just really, you know, heat something up over there, take my time and eat it. I mean, I could have like heated up and eat it in the car, but you can't be eating and driving like that, you know? So for every scenario there is out there, I did my best at trying to manage this, but it was a cost to me. And going along with that path, just to kind of throw it in here, I know, again, a lot of people are able to do it, but I wasn't able to exercise the way that I wanted to exercise. I didn't have the time between doing the notes at home on my time off before work, between going to work, between having a family, between doing homework and driving around. So that's the last thing. Make sure you guys keep in good, not just mental health, but physical health during this experience. Because I did try to squeeze in some yoga, some walking and things like that, but it did cost me my routine and going to the gym. And, you know, I don't know if you guys worked out consistently, but when you're in the gym, you can, you know, take your supplements and all this and that, drink your protein shakes and things like that. I was in a really good routine of that beforehand. And then during my experience, if you're not like, I don't know, I like weightlifting, so I'd be in the gym doing that, and then, you know, your body's like, give me all the nutrients. When you're not doing that, I can't just go to Vitamin Shop and eat all these things, because that would just, you know, it doesn't work that way. So I'm really excited to get back into myself and learn what life is like now. And I just wanted to share these experiences with you guys, because I know a lot of you guys find it helpful and find it, you know, refreshing to hear like, oh my God, let me watch out for this. Let me make sure if, you know, if I like to exercise or I like to have more time with my friends, I need to pencil it in before I get into this experience and get into the cycle where, you know, you don't have time for doing that. All right, guys. I am going to run a bunch of errands now. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I'll see you in my next video.